Armen and Levack, 104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. Matt Maioco joining us from CSN Bay Area. And Matt, Greg Roman, former offensive coordinator of the 49ers, is now the offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills. This move makes sense for a lot of reasons, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, he and Rex Ryan know each other from way back. They've coached against each other. I know that they were in contact a lot after Rex Ryan got fired from the Jets, and I think Rex was pretty darn confident that he would get another head coaching job, and he lined up Greg to be his guy. So, to me, Greg Roman got a lot of heat with the 49ers from the 49ers fan base, from the 49ers general manager's daughter on Twitter. But the 49ers problems, I think, went a lot deeper on offense than Greg Roman. So the key to him will be to get a quarterback in there who can function and keep that offense running.
Now, with his experience dealing with a big mobile guy like Colin Kaepernick, is there any chance Roman's the guy to finally develop E.J. Manuel?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of it's going to fall on E.J. Manuel. I don't know that much about him, but I can tell you that one of the things with Kaepernick was that he just didn't develop as a passer. And you watch these games, and the 49ers offense wasn't always productive, but you would look out there on the field and you'd see receivers running open. And granted, the 49ers didn't have a great cast of wide receivers, but they did have Crabtree and Bolden, Vernon Davis. And you would just see where plays would break down because the quarterback either couldn't read the defense or couldn't match what the defense was showing with his own play call and anticipate properly. So, in today's NFL, I think it's difficult to develop quarterbacks, especially in the off season. In the off season right now, Colin Kaepernick, for instance, is spending 11 weeks in Arizona. A lot of it going to be working with quarterback coaches, including Kurt Warner. So once these quarterbacks report to their teams with the Bills, it'll be on April 6th. You're teaching the guy the offense, and you really don't have the opportunity to spend a great deal of time working on other aspects of quarterback play. So if Manuel can develop, then I think Greg Roman is a good coach for him. But they got to do certain things. I mean, Roman is very much into the running game, which I think in Buffalo could be huge. So they're going to have to upgrade the offensive line, become a power running team. They'll try to get their tight ends involved and hope to set up the pass. To use the running plays, use the power running game to set up play action with E.J. Manuel. So. I would assume they'll use the same formula that the 49ers used here in 4 years under Greg Roman, which was basically an offense geared to the running game, and they had a lot of success on the ground in San Francisco.
Matt Maioco of CSN Bay Area covers the 49ers, where Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator. Now he has been hired by Rex Ryan today in Buffalo. And Matt, I'm not going to lie. I mean, the biggest concern of Rex Ryan being hired in Buffalo was, wait a minute, it's the same situation that you just had with the Jets, this great defense, but someone needs to develop a quarterback. And from what I've heard from you thus far, it doesn't sound like Greg Roman necessarily has developing quarterbacks on the top of his resume in the NFL so far.
Well, yeah, not in the NFL. Now, I will say this, that when the 49ers staff came in here with Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman, Alex Smith was about ready to be run out of town by the fan base. And through 1.5 seasons, Alex Smith played some very good football. It was the don't screw it up mentality. They took a lot off of his plate, but what they preached to him was, keep the chains moving. Sometimes on third down, an incompletion, a ball thrown out of bounds is the proper move. They played the field position game. The 49ers because their defense was so good. The goal of the offense in a lot of ways was don't screw it up, and they like to milk the clock, run the ball, control the ball. Their running game it was fairly complex. They were doing stuff in the run game that defenses hadn't seen yet. So I think he's stepping into a very similar position there with a very good defense. And, there will be times where, on 3rd and long, the proper play is a draw play, just because you don't want to take the chance of doing anything stupid. So, I would think you'll see mostly a conservative offense from Greg Roman, but an offense geared to best use their pieces, both on offense and defense, to win games.
Who's the favorite to take over the 49ers?
Well, that's a great question. The guy that I kind of keep an eye on, and you haven't heard his name a whole lot, is Jim Tomsula, the defensive line coach. They're not moving real quickly on this. There's always kind of the rumblings of, could they be looking at somebody in the college ranks? The only coaches that they've interviewed who are off limits at this point are Josh McDaniels and Dan Quinn. I think Dan Quinn will be going elsewhere. McDaniels remains a possibility, but that's kind of the question right now is who replaces Jim Harbaugh. And like I said, the strength of the 49ers defense the past 4 years, or strength of the 49ers the past 4 years, has really been the defense. So, there is a thought here that if you're going to stay in-house, just go with somebody on the defensive side, whether it's Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, or Tom Sula, the defensive line coach. So about anything can happen at this point. After Jim Harbaugh was run out of town, I don't think many people would be surprised with anything that happens.
All right, and I know you don't really cover them, but they're so close. Any word where the Raiders are actually going to play football next year? Are you guys going to have to take them in as a shelter?
Yeah, I think they're planning on playing a season next year, and from what I understand, it's still going to be in Oakland, not in Los Angeles. But I think what you're looking at there is Jack Del Rio's coming in for his second interview. He's available to be hired right now, and Tony Sperano, who finished the season as the interim coach, remains in the picture there too. So from all appearances, it looks like that one's down to 2 people.
Matt Maioco knows the stuff. CSN Bay Area. Matt, as always, man, really appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
Okay, no problem at all. Thanks for having me.